So my friend Kevin sends me a pic of Shoshone Falls and a historical marker and says, "Is this your cousin?" And so I notice on the historical marker is the name Bishop Augustin Magloire Alexandre Blanchette, aka AMA Blanchette. And he was born in Quebec. So I start looking him up. He's my fifth cousin. I'm reading some of the letters that he wrote. I noticed the name Peter Skeen Ogden. Close to me is a marker that I've driven by, Peter Skeen Ogden. So I go rushing over there, check out Peter Skeen Ogden. Like, what's the connection? So the connection is Oregon. Peter Skeen Ogden was a chief factor of the Hudson Bay Company in Oregon, and Bishop Blanchette was the Bishop of Walla Walla, Washington. So we're going to cover three things real quick. One is the Whitman Massacre, happened in 1847, the gold discovery in 1848, and the U.S., an emerging power, claiming the Oregon and making a treaty with Britain and organizing the Oregon Territory and claiming it 1848. I'm Hub Blanchette with the Blanchette Families of North America. This is mind-boggling. We have so much information. We're going to be doing a long video on this. So subscribe and it'll come to you. So just to step back in time a little bit, Bishop Blanchette, we have to remember that Quebec was conquered by the British in 1759. And so he was brought up under the British rule. And there was a rebellion, a French rebellion in Quebec. And Bishop Blanchette was arrested for supporting, by the British, was arrested for supporting the rebels apparently. And he was accused of treason. So he spent about 8 months in jail. So it's an interesting little background that sort of prepares him for the things that happened to him later on in Oregon. So Peter Skeen Ogden, another connection, his father was actually a British loyalist. That's why Peter Skeen Ogden was born in Quebec and ended up working for the Hudson Bay Company. There's a lot of details there. So that's with the American Revolution. Peter Skeen Ogden's father and family, his mother was also a loyalist, ended up in Quebec. I haven't found any proof that they knew each other in Quebec. So it's just mind-boggling that in a 3-year period, 1846 to 1848, so many significant things happened. So as soon as Bishop Blanchette arrives, within a month or so, the Whitman Massacre happens. So there were several people massacred, Whitman and his wife and some other people. And also there was about 40-some hostages taken. Whitman was a Protestant minister and he was also a doctor. So some of the tension was caused by trying to treat some of the Native Americans that were dying from a plague. And so there was a lot of tension there. That happened within a short time when Blanchette arrived. Bishop Blanchette and a chief, Chief Tawatove, the Cayuse, and later on Peter Skeen Ogden came in. And because of them, the tension was reduced and the violence was toned down. In Bishop Blanchette letters, he talks about the gold discovery, and he talks about when the gold was discovered in California, a lot of the Protestant ministers and also the tradesmen left to go to California, even before 1849 when the 49ers came in, because the Oregon people heard about it before and they went down. So he lost tradesmen, and the letter is sort of amusing a little bit. He talks about his competition left because the Protestant ministers left and went down to California, to that area. And then he also lived and he was involved a little bit in the organizing of the U.S. taking over Oregon and claiming it August 1848. So that's some of the things. It's just fascinating that there was so much happening in those 3 years in that Oregon territory. I remember reading that in 1846, 1847, there was about 6,000 immigrants that went on the Oregon Trail in those 2 years. And then 49, there was like 26 to 30,000 that used that Oregon Trail, of course, because of the gold rush. Bishop Blanchette was an amazing guy. He was a peacemaker, and he does honor to the Blanchette clan. His brother had been there as a bishop 8 years before. So there was the two brothers that were up there during that time. Just fascinating reading his letters. It's just mind-boggling. Anyway, thank you for listening, and have a good day. Love you. Okay, bye.